I give you most nights and most often more than one thought about what I think is happening in various aspects of our culture and country, whether it's foreign policy or domestic policy. And I've jotted down some notes about what I was thinking about last night about the Democrat Party. Yes, the Democrat Party hates America. I wrote an entire book on it. But let me suggest something to you. The Democrat Party has been the breeding ground of anti-American hate for a long, long time. The Democrat Party thrives off of and strategizes around turning one group of Americans against another group of Americans. Stereotyping Americans based on wealth, based on age, based on genitalia, based on race, based on anything they can think of. Because the more that we're at each other's throats, the more the Democrat Party seeks to exploit it. Fundamental transformation requires a revolution. It requires an angry people. It requires people who are hateful and jealous of each other. It requires an assault on our institutions, on our history. The destruction of actual education, replaced with indoctrination. The Democrat Party's been behind all of this, really, since the founding of the Democrat Party, but especially now. It rejects capitalism for socialism. It rejects the civil society for Marxism. It rejects free speech for indoctrination. And at the beginning of my book, I explain in great detail how the Democrat Party is more like the authoritarian rulers, in the Communist Party in China and the fascistic elements of Russia. The problem is, America, no longer can the institution of the Democrat Party control what it's created. This is the new thought that I'm passing on to you. Even now, it tries to embrace these hideous movements, these violent movements, and their militia. But like all these other revolutions, whether in Russia, whether in China, whether in Cuba, whether the French Revolution, they eventually turn on each other. And they eventually destroy as much of the other individuals or entities' base as possible until it is in control. That's what you're seeing taking place right now in our streets. The Democrat Party owns the colleges and universities in this country. It owns the professorships. The Democrat Party owns the government school system in this country. It owns the union that essentially runs those local schools. The Democrat Party owns the media, or vice versa. It doesn't much matter. And you can see how corrupt and destructive the media are and how they promote violence and hate, bigotry, racism, anti-Semitism. And they bring that into your homes every single day, splash it in the headlines every single day. Just like the autocracies, they target people who they believe should be smeared, and they praise people who they want to promote. They create devils, and they create heroes. And now this institution, the Democrat Party, is more and more being subjected to the various Marxist, Islamist, violent, racist, anti-Semitic, bigoted groups that it has helped fund, promote, celebrate, and it's starting to devour the institution of the Democrat Party. In the end, the Democrat Party has to make a decision. Does it fight them or does it lead them? Right now, it's not sure what to do. To lead them, they must embrace all aspects of them openly, in which case they'll lose most of the American people. So what they're trying now is to straddle the fence. Joe Biden didn't go to that rally with 300,000 Israel-supporting anti-Semite ralliers because he didn't want to offend the pro-Marxist and pro-Islamist part of his base, the Democrat Party base. Newspapers, media websites, MSNBC and CNN, those particular cable networks, corporate media, most of the people who watch them, read them, are of the same mentality as the people you see on TV, becoming increasingly violent. They hire individuals who support Hamas, whether they be photographers in Gaza who praise Hitler, or whether they be Islamists who've come to the United States, who've said things that have been recorded, videoed, and they bring them on as hosts and guests. You can also see news personalities, journalists, who now have resorted to moral equivalency as a way of trying to defend themselves, defend their careers, because they don't have the guts to speak out and confront this. And most of them are Democrats, after all. That's what's taking place in our country, among many other things. And you can further hear it by the bellicose attacks by Joe Biden and his fellow Democrats against Republicans, conservatives, and mostly Donald Trump and his supporters. That he's Hitler. That he and they threaten democracy. You can see it in the rhinos, who have no clue what's taking place. You can see it with Romney, McConnell, Haley, Christie, Sununu. You can see it with them too. Oh, they'll say they try the right things to Republicans, dress up as conservatives, tell you they're all Reaganites, they're tough on China and all the rest. When you dig a little deeper, it's bullcrap. You can see it in our corporations. Corporations have been conquered from within. Disney is dying. Walt Disney's dream, an amusement park, a fantastic place for families, has been destroyed. Destroyed. You saw the video of some of the biggest executives with some of the biggest corporations in America giving a standing ovation to a genocidal mass murder. You wouldn't have seen that 50 years ago, 20 years ago. The Democrat Party is fundamentally changing America. It's fundamentally changing America in horrid ways. And it has unleashed forces that it cannot control. So it makes a decision. Do we get in front of the parade and join them in overtly burning down the country? Do we stand up to them? I suspect the former.